Hi, everyone. I have some really exciting news to share with you, which I'm going to do in about a minute. But first, I'm feeling very strongly guided to tell you about an experience I had a couple weeks ago. It was really interesting because it was layered with spiritual meaning. And as time went on, the layers became more and more depthful. And it just rocked me to my core, really, this tiny little everyday experience. And had I not been in an open place, in a place of open mindedness and eventually open heartedness, I wouldn't have seen it for the spiritual message that it was. So it relates to us not only as individuals, but also as one collective consciousness. And I would love to have your insights. So please, please, please share. You guys are so wise and so spiritually brilliant. We can only help each other by sharing. So this is what happened. I was sitting here on the couch reading a magazine when all of a sudden I heard this really loud buzzing noise. I couldn't imagine where it was coming from, so I got up from the couch to investigate. And I was just about to look outside the front door when all of a sudden the buzzing got louder and louder and louder until I realized it wasn't coming from outside, it was coming from my house. I looked up in that moment and saw something buzzing in the window, and then suddenly it flew away, so I never got to see what it was. I decided that I wanted to know what this was, so I started to ascend our staircase, and with every step I took, I realized that I don't like things that buzz, that could potentially sting or bite or whatever it is that they do. And I was starting to get filled with anxiety. Just from these imaginary what if scenarios I had in my head, I had no idea what this was, and already I was thinking the worst. So as I'm walking up the stairs, I'm preparing myself for what it is that I would need to do. And I had the magazine in my hand that I was reading. So I was really intending to get rid of it. And I wasn't even thinking along any other lines other than this is going to hurt us. I need to defend us. My whole house could be at risk for whatever potential hazard or danger this could cause. Anyway, I went upstairs, couldn't find it. And as I'm turning to come downstairs, I flipped a switch in my mind. Something suddenly just clicked. I think I took a breath. That's what happened. And it sent me to a better place. And I started to feel more peaceful. And as I was going down the stairs, I was becoming more and more peaceful until I reached the window where this buzzing noise had originally come from. I stopped because there was this thing I was looking for. It was a bumblebee. And he was buzzing and buzzing and buzzing and making a ton of noise. And I'm thinking, okay, I'm not going to hurt this. He's not doing anything. He's just being himself. How could I help him? What could I do? And so I thought, I've got this magazine in my hand. I could kind of catch him in the magazine, but knowing me, I would drop him. So I didn't risk doing that. I went to the kitchen and got a glass and a saucer and decided that I was going to help him into the glass, cover him with a saucer, and then just gently let him go outside. So that's what I did. When I let him go, I could feel him. I could feel him happy and so grateful that I thought twice before I did something that I would have regretted. And I felt his heart, I felt his soul, I felt at one with him, and I felt free. When he flew away, I had this freeing feeling as well. So I came back in the house and I sat down because what had just happened really floored me, because ordinarily I would have gotten rid of it. I would have had that magazine in my hand and I would have done what I had to do because that's what I've done in the past. But the switch that happened from me being in this place of, oh my God, something really horrible is going to happen, to, oh, What can I do to help this creature? How can I help? What can I do? How can I show compassion and love? How can I listen to him and hear what it is that he needs and honor his request? I got to that place, and it was a very decided choice. It was not left-brained at all. It really came from my heart. As I was thinking about this, about what suddenly switched off in my mind, that I was able to get from a place of fear to love, my guides chimed in and they said, "Robin, do you understand what just happened?" And I said, "Well, I'm beginning to. I've never done that before. Usually I just do what I have to do and that's it. I don't think twice about it." And they said, "But you weren't thinking. You were in your heart. You were in a place where you could hear beyond the buzzing. And what you realized is that that buzzing vibration wasn't coming from the bee, it was coming from you. You were in a place of judgment. Your head was full of noise. You were in these what-if scenarios, fast-forwarding yourself into the future in a not-so-good way. And then you realized that that was all in your head, and you were able to center yourself in a place where you could see what the truth was. You came from a place of love. You walked and talked yourself off the ledge, and you listened to this little creature who's really just your messenger, which you recognized at the soul level. I just sat there and thought about what they had said, and the meaning of what had just happened just hit me in waves. And it was just the beginning. It took me 2 weeks really to fully grasp what I had just experienced from a spiritual standpoint. I realized that I was able to get to a higher place because I breathed, and that I was ascending the staircase when I realized that I had a choice and I didn't have to hurt this thing. I could treat it with love and respect, and in a place of peace, I could come to a place of understanding where I could hear him whispering to me, and I did. There's so much noise going on in the world and in our lives. And while we would like to blame the outside world for this vibration, we have to take responsibility for the noise that's coming from within. For me, I had been listening to the news. I had been talking to negative people. I had been talking politics, which is something I rarely do. And it was lowering my vibration. And this buzz that I was hearing from the bee was a mirror for me to take a good look and see how I was contributing to this noise. So I would love to hear what your take is on this, how you see this, because we all see things differently. And like I said, we can all help each other to grow and expand and heal by sharing and by opening our hearts and by helping each other to open our minds. That being said, I want to tell you what my special news is. I'm going to be teaching a class called Dancing with the Winds of Change, 7 Simple Steps to Everyday Ascension. And what it's really about is making conscious energy choices in the moment. Conscious choices that lead us from a place of fear to love. Conscious choices that invite us to be our highest selves. Conscious choices that allow us to celebrate who we really are. So the technical part of this is coming together now. The delay was on purpose. There was one delay after another because I remember announcing this in January, and here we are in June. But every delay has lined me up to divine timing, and I'm pretty much ready to go. So I will give you the details as they come in. I want to keep this cost effective for everybody, and I'm coming up with various means to do that. So that's important to me because we all deserve access to this important information that has been imparted to me over God knows how many lifetimes, everybody. I mean, my guides have been gifting me with this for this lifetime, and I carry it into my everyday experience. And it has changed the way that I see everything. I have used it from everything from an argument with a loved one at breakfast to a diagnosis with breast cancer. And I can tell you that it's absolutely life-changing. So I will give you the details as they come, like I said. In the meantime, take my love with you and know how much I love you. I'll talk to you soon. Be blessed. Bye.